Hello, Sourcefed Movie Club. So today's movie for the Sourcefed Movie Club is Cosmopolis, starring Robert Pattinson and directed by David Cronenberg. And I did not know a thing about this movie going in. I was glad to see that. I was glad that I believe Meg picked this one. Yeah, good choice in that I was happy to take on the challenge of a movie that I knew nothing about, had absolutely no expectations. That is a treat. That is a wonderful challenge to take on. So I did enjoy this movie for that reason, because it's always fun to go in with a completely blank slate. So, that said, coming out of it, my slate has the word weird written all over it. This movie is weird. This movie is so weird. It's kind of hard to even call this a good movie or a bad movie, because it's just a weird movie. But in the end, though, I do have to call this a good movie. And I'll tell you why. It can be good for two different reasons. One, because of how weird it is, you can easily have fun with this movie by sitting around with your friends, getting drunk, and laughing at it, because it is so weird, with lines like when Robert Pattinson is talking about his asymmetrical prostate. Those are the lines you want to laugh your ass off at, okay? Especially at the end when Paul Giamatti tells him, yeah, your prostate's asymmetrical, and you should have listened to it. Yeah, the movie's that weird. So, you can have fun with this movie with that, or you can stay sober and enjoy this movie and think about this movie. And if you do that, you probably want to see this movie more than once, because you're going to need to see it more than once to cut through the layers of symbolism in this movie. There is a lot going on in this movie, and because of all the imagery, because of how well it's filmed. I mean, Robert Pattinson does a great job, because most of what he does in the movie is this. Okay? And Robert Pattinson can stare into the distance like no one else in this world. I mean, he just has that stare. Okay? So the movie really plays to his strengths on that notion. But director David Cronenberg does a great job setting up all the shots around him. The entire movie revolves around Robert Pattinson's character. Most of the movie takes place in the back of his limo. In the back of his limo, he talks with his theory analyst. He talks with a couple of his different stockbrokers or people working for him. He talks with different analysts, two other guys, like one guy who just spends the entire time on his tablet. Okay, he has sex with one of those stockbrokers that works for him. And then the other one, he doesn't have sex with her, but he gets a prostate exam while talking to her. Yes, the movie's that weird. So, that all said, it's still a compelling movie. It's a movie that forces you to think. You can't let this movie do the thinking for you. You have to do the thinking. You have to dissect the imagery. You have to cut through the layers of all of it. You have got to fucking put your thinking cap on. You've got to turn your brain on to get through this movie. It's a challenging movie. It really is. So for that reason, it can be enjoyable on two different levels. You can just get drunk and make fun of it, or you can stay sober and think about it. I think that makes this a very good movie. I honestly do. So, but still very weird. I mean, go in well prepared for lots and lots of weirdness, lots and lots of weird lines, lots of conversations that don't sound like conversations. There are lots of conversations in this movie that sound like the two characters are just taking turns reciting a poem. It honestly feels like that. Like it's a lot of very poetic, almost Shakespearean dialogue. Well, maybe Shakespearean is going too far, but weird is really the best word for it. Very esoteric / eccentric dialogue going on. Yeah, I think that's another couple of words that can describe this movie. And all of it about the downfall of capitalism, the downfall of wealth, the downfall of this man, Eric Packer, played by Robert Pattinson. His marriage is falling apart. His business is falling apart. He's losing billions of dollars because he gambled on the wrong pony in this foreign exchange currencies thing. They talk a lot about the yuan. I have no idea what the yuan is, but they talk a lot about it. I'm guessing it's a Chinese currency, and he bet wrong on it. Oh yeah, and in addition to all these, someone's trying to kill him. Yeah, there's that going on too. So, yeah, and that all put together, it makes for a movie that makes you think. If that's not your kind of movie, then by all means, avoid this movie. But if that is your kind of movie, then I highly recommend this movie. And I thank you, Sourcefed Movie Club, because I never heard of this movie. I probably wouldn't have watched it if y'all hadn't picked it. So, thank you, Sourcefed Movie Club, for choosing great movies. My name is Devin Drake. My book is The Man of Nightstone. It is an ebook available for purchase at smashwords.com. A link in the description down below. Thank you for choosing great movies, Sourcefed Movie Club. Keep on choosing great movies, and I'll see you next time on Sourcefed Movie Club.